The number 16. She's playing second.
How's it going there?
Good.
Doing fine, keeping things in line.
You're good, by the way.
Okay. Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to the Cox Softball Complex on this overcast March the 8th, 2024. Quentin Norris singing the Catbirds here. Central Methodist takes on Waynes Baptist. Central Methodist 13-2. Waynes Baptist has 11-5. Central Methodist this past Sunday, they won a couple of games down in Gulf Shores, Alabama, and they went 4-0 down in Gulf Shores. In game one, they defeated Texas A&M Texarkana 8-0 on a two-hitter by Haley Cotter. And in game number two, they defeated Central Baptist 5-4 on a game-winning RBI single by Cassidy Brent. Waynes Baptist, they lost a couple of games on Monday to Stillman. In game one, they lost 3-0. Game two, 6-2. Hitting-wise for Central Methodist, leading the way is Elizabeth Palumbo, 442. No homers, 15 RBIs. For Waynes Baptist, their leading hitter is Manny Altendahl at 488. No homers, 6 RBIs. Pitching-wise, it's Haley Cotter, 2-2, with a 1.57 ERA, 5 walks, 18 strikeout. For Waynes Baptist, that's Maddie Wallace. 1.56 ERA, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts as well. Of course, let's take a look at some of the upcoming sports and some national sports events there. Of course, tomorrow on ABC Sports at 11:30 a.m. Pregame show at 11 a.m. with host Steve Levy, PK Subban, and, of course, Mark Messier. Then we got the Carolina Hurricanes and the New Jersey Devils. New Jersey coming off a 4-1 victory last night over the St. Louis Blues. They're keeping their playoff hopes alive for the Stanley Cup, but they have a long ways to go. The two teams in the wild card chase are, of course, Detroit and Tampa Bay. Of course, Central Methodist Baseball, they have a doubleheader. They're coming off a 4-game sweep over Graceland. They're 4-0, and, of course, they're 12, and they're like 15-3 all together there. They'll be taking on William Penn. First game of the doubleheader is at 1 o'clock. And then at 2 p.m., it's the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Boston Bruins on ABC television. Of course, Boston and Pittsburgh both are in the playoffs. Still in the hunt for the playoffs, but Boston still has a chance for that number 1 seed. And the overall best record, that means you win the President's Trophy. And then, of course, on Sunday, it's, of course, my birthday. Baseball is at William Penn, taking on in games 3 and 4, doubleheader at 1 o'clock. Then we have softball. This is a makeup game from yesterday when it was rain. They'll play St. Mary at 1 o'clock, pregame show at 12:45 p.m. as well. So both teams should be getting ready to get started. Quentin Norris and the Catbird seed. We'll go ahead and give you today's starting lineups. It is sponsored by Home Oil. Lean off and playing second base Natalia Watkins. Banging the number 2 spot is Megan Petty. And batting third, their shortstop, Madison Shoebottom. Batting fourth, their first baseman, Kennedy Johnson. Batting fifth, their catcher is Madison Knight. Batting sixth is their third baseman, Kaylee Wolf. Batting in the number 4 spot is Hannah Stallings, the designated player. Of course, Maddie Altenthal, the team's leading hitter, will be in right field. And in left field, number 23, Lila Bias. And today's starting pitcher, Emberlyn Caldwell. So we got Watkins, Petty, Shoebottom, Johnson, Knight, Wolf, Stallings, Altenthal, Bias, Caldwell pitching. For your Central Methodist Eagles, leading off playing center field is Kalina Oots. Batting in the number 2 spot is their left fielder, Casey Jolly. Batting third, the first baseman, Elizabeth Palumbo. Batting fourth, their third baseman, Joe Kreider. Batting sixth, in the number 5 spot, it is Madison Roberts. Batting sixth, their second baseman, Madison White. catcher in the number 7 spot, Lauren Hill. Batting 8th, their right fielder, Daly Garland. And batting 9th is the designated player, Carly Robbins. Today's starting pitcher is Fayette's own Jordan Ball. So we got Oot, Jolly, Palumbo, Kreider, Roberts, White, Hill, Garland, Robbins, Jordan Ball, today's starting pitcher. Today's umpires working behind the plate. It is Nestor Shylak. And Jim Quick is the other umpires there. So we're about ready to get started. The umpiring crews will meet. They'll talk it over, and then we'll probably give you today's starting lineups. I think Tim Crowley is the PA announcer for today's game. Overcast, about low 50. Seems like just a week ago we had some 80s there. But you know one thing. It is March the 8th, 11 days. It is the first day of spring 2024. Of course, we had some 70s. I think Sunday we had some mid-70s. I think we had some 80s in some spots. I think some low 80s. And then, of course, the rain came as well. That's Pat Reardon, the head coach for Central Methodist, assisted by Gene Reardon, Addie Reardon, Morgan Wilson, and Madison Sicardo. For Williams Baptist, Jessica Nutt, assisted by Ashley Marshall, Bianca Pettis, and Mary Kate Armstrong. And now meet it over at home plate, talk it over. They'll probably exchange the lineup cards there. And they'll probably go over the ground rules there as well. Glad to have you with us. And, of course, 20 days from now, the Major League Baseball season opens up. Of course, the St. Louis Cardinals take on the Los Angeles Dodgers, while the defending World Series champion Texas Rangers take on the Chicago Cubs. There as well. While the Kansas City Royals open up at home, taking on the Minnesota Twins. Well, of course, the baseball season will start in 11 days. On the first day of spring, the Los Angeles Dodgers take on the San Diego Padres down in Seoul, South Korea. That's at 5 a.m. local standard times. I'm sure a lot of CMU students are probably looking forward to watching the Dodgers and the Padres. And, of course, Game 2 of that series will be on Wednesday as well at 5 a.m. as well. Wayne's Baptist, member of the American Midwest Conference. Also, their women's basketball team is headed to the national tournament first time in school history as well. We're about ready to get started. Wenton Norris in the catbird seat. See Pat Reardon going over the ground levels there. So we're about ready to get started. Hopefully. And today we could be seeing some history there, as Jordan Ball has 4 no-hitters. She's already set the school record for a career one. Today could be number 5, move past Sandy Koufax all time. Koufax had 4 no-hitters between 1962 and 1965. So we could be seeing some history today. So as Vin Scully would say on television, let's pull up a chair then, and hopefully we see some history being made today here at Central Methodist.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Cox Field for today's softball doubleheader between the Williams Baptist Eagles and your number 4 nationally ranked Central Methodist Eagles. We are to all players, coaches, and spectators abide by the NAIA Champions of Character values, which are respect, integrity, responsibility, servant leadership, and sportsmanship. And now let's meet the starters for today's contest. First for the visiting team, Williams Baptist. Leading off, at second base, number 30, Natalia Watkins. Batting second in center field, number 14, Megan Petty. Batting third, the shortstop, number 18, Madison Shoebottom. Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 26, Kennedy Johnson. Batting fifth, the catcher, number 6, Madison Knight. Batting sixth, the third base, number 31, Kaylee Wolf. Batting seventh, the designated player, number 34, Hannah Stallings. Hitting eighth in right field, number 32, Maddie Altendahl. Batting ninth in left field, number 23, Layla Byatt. And the starting pitcher, number 4, Kimberlyn Caldwell. The Eagles are led by head coach Jessica Nutt. She is assisted by Ashley Marshall, Bianca Pettis, and Mary Kay Armstrong. And now it's time to introduce today's starters for your Central Methodist Eagles. Leading off in the center field, number 14, Kalena Hoots. Batting second to the left field, number 1, Casey Jolly. Batting third, at first base, number 23, Elizabeth Palumbo. Batting cleanup, at third base, number 6, Jolie Kreider. Batting fifth, the shortstop, number 11, Madison Roberts. Hitting sixth, the second base, number 16, Madison White. Batting seventh, the catcher, number 15, Lauren Hill. Batting eighth in right field, number 9, Bailey Garland. And today's starting pitcher, number 22, Jordan Ball. These are led by head coach Pat Reardon. He is assisted by Gene Morgan Wilson, and Madison DeCordo. At this time, would you please rise and remove your hats for a prayer to be followed by the playing of our national anthem. Almighty God, you have created us to strive for our best. Grant all athletes, coaches, and fans the strength to pursue excellence during this event. We pray for the safety of these athletes, protect them from injury and harm, and help us to honor you in all that we do on and off the field, and make us witnesses to your glory. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
First, the starting lineups, the national anthem. Let's go ahead and set the defense for you. Sponsored by Dairy Queen. Out in left field, that's Casey Jolly. And center field, Kalina Oots. In right field, Daly Garland. At third base, Joe Kreider. Shortstop, Madison Roberts. Second baseman, Madison White. The first baseman, Elizabeth Palumbo. The catcher, Lauren Hill. And that's Fayette's own Jordan Ball, 6-0, 1.88 ERA, 11 walks, 65 strikeout. Of course, we mentioned during the pregame show, she has set the school record with 4. She is tied for second with Sandy Koufax, who has 4. The all-time leader for no-hitters, Nolan Ryan, who has 7. Today, we could see history. She can move past the great Sandy Koufax. As Natalia Watkins will be the batter. 304 hitter, no homers, 5 RBIs. From Spring, Texas, around the Dallas area. As Vin Scully would say, hey, let's pull up a chair then. Let's get ready for some softball. As Ernie Banks will say, hey, let's play two. First pitch. And it's a foul ball. Came at 1:03 p.m. The temperature 52 degrees. The time and temperature sponsored by The Parking Spot. Easy to spot, easy to park. The Parking Spot here at the Kansas City International Airport. 1-1 the count on Natalia Watkins. Here comes the 0-1. On the strike call. Good job of framing it by Lauren Hill, as Joe Garagiola used to say that on NBC television. 0-2 now on Natalia Watkins. Your 0-2. She did go. Strike 3, so 1 down now. Here is Megan Petty, a 341 hitter, no homers, 8 RBIs. From Republic, Missouri, around the Springfield area. Beautiful area there. I think one of my former neighbors from back home named Seth Connor, his wife Dina, and of course lives in Republic. First pitch. There's a ball. 1-0 to count. Always look for the right arm of the umpires. That is Nestor Shylock. The 1-0. There's a strike. 1-1 there. Always want to hear an umpire yell like Dutch Renner used to do for the National League when he yelled, strike 1. And I can remember he yelled loud. You can hear that on television. The 1-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2-1 the count on Megan Petty. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2-1 pitch. Tries the bunt. That's a strike. 2-2 now. 2 balls, 2 strikes. On deck is Madison Shoebottom. 2-2 the count. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 call. So 2 quick outs now for Madison Shoebottom. 440 hitter, 5 homers, 15 RBIs. From Ball Knob, Arkansas, playing shortstop. May get the pitching game too. Third in ERA with 1.75. 2 quick outs and a ground ball base hit there. They throw over the first. Good job backing up by Lauren Hill. That was a wicked base hit just underneath the glove of Elizabeth Palumbo. Here's Kennedy Johnson. 462 hitter, 6 homers, 21 RBIs on the year. From Forney, Texas. There's a strike call, 0-1 now. No balls and 1 strike. On deck is Madison Knight. 0-1 to count. Jordan Ball getting the sign from Lauren Hill. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss on the curveball. 0-2 now. No balls and 2 strikes on an overcast day. Feels like I'm at Wrigley Field. 0-2 the count. 0-2 pitch. And that's a ball, 1-2 now. Especially when that wind usually blows off of Lake Michigan. But at least it's not like it was back in 1987 when it snowed on NBC's Game of the Week. And the Pittsburgh Pirates saying, let it snow, on the Game of the Week pregame show. And the only person that was embarrassed by it was a guy named Marv Albert. Especially when you have 4 Pittsburgh Pirates and one had to hold the microphone. 2-2 the count there on Kennedy Johnson. 2-2 pitch. It's a ground ball just underneath the glove of Joe Cryer. Good effort there. And now first and second and 2 outs there. After 2 quick outs on strikeout, 2 consecutive hits there. Here is Madison Knight. Madison Knight, a 379 hitter, no homers, 7 RBIs. From Albany, Louisiana. Jordan Ball just needs to talk to the softball. Oh and 2 to count. That's outside, ball 1 there. 1-0 to count. On deck is Kaylee Wolf. 1-0 pitch. Hits a chopper, foul, 1-1 there. On Madison Knight. Infield playing normal. 1-1 to count. Softball ranked number 4 in the nation. The 1-1. That is a ball, 2-1 now. There you see Lauren Hill directing traffic, just like the great Johnny Bench used to do that a lot when he was with the Cincinnati Reds. 2 balls and 1 strike, 2-1 pitch. There's a strike on the outside corner, 2-2 now. That's a good job of framing it by Lauren Hill there. 2-2 to count on Madison Knight. 2-2 pitch. Fouls it all to the screen, and it's still 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 the count there on Madison Knight. Jordan Ball getting the sign. Here's your pitch. Fouls it to the screen. Still 2-2. Just to increase the tension there. Cox Softball Complex shivering with its concrete foundations. 2-2 to count. Strike 3 call. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on. Bottom of the first inning, no score. But here comes Central Methodist coming to bat. And we'll go ahead and set the defense for you there. It is sponsored by Emmett's Kitchen Tap. It is out in left field. It's Leia Bias. Center fielder Megan Petty. Out in right field there, Maddie Altenthal. At third base, Kaylee Wolf. Their shortstop, it is Madison Shoebottom. At second base, Natalia Watkins. First baseman, Kennedy Johnson. Their catcher is Madison Knight. And it's Emberlyn Caldwell from Van Buren, Arkansas. 6-2, 1.69 ERA, 16 walks, 44 strikeouts. Give you the starting lineups for Central Methodist. That's Kalina Oots as the catch out in center field. Casey Jolly in left. Elizabeth Palumbo at first base. Joel Kreider's at third. Madison Roberts at shortstop. Madison White's at second. Lauren Hill catcher. Daly Gardner and Carly Robbins. Williams Baptist in the blue uniform, white trim with the white numerals. Central Methodist, they're in the black uniform, green trim, green numerals. Birds on the bats. As Kalina Oots will be the batter. A .380 hitter, no homers, 3 RBIs. From Kansas City, went to Staley High School.
Center fielder, number 14, Kalina Hoots.
Of course, which is the same area where several of my friends land. Of course, one of them was Central Methodist volleyball player, Cindy Healy. First pitch. That's a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0 the count there. On deck is Casey Jolly. There you see the pitcher going into the, looks like the old pitch common they use in Major League Baseball. This time, the old wristband trick. 1-1 count. If Johnny Bench was catching, Johnny Bench will tell you which number. He'll put down what kind of pitch to throw. He did that mostly to Don Gullet and fouls it off there. And Gary Nolan. 1-2 the count there on Kalina Oots. Where's number 14? Like the great number 14. Baseball's all-time hit king, Pete Rose. Of course, also want to say hi to her brother, Brandon. Goes to William Jewell. I'm sure Brandon is listening in on the broadcast. 1-2 pitch. That's a little high. 2-2 the count. On deck is Casey Jolly. Two balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 the count. 2-2 pitch. A little slapper to the third. Third baseman has it. Throw the first. And there's out number 1 for Casey Jolly. .380 hitter. 3 homers, 12 RBIs from Nampa, Idaho. Jolly leads the team in home runs. Nampa, Idaho, of course, if you remember, also on my birthday, 29 years ago, actually 30 years ago, Central Methodist men's basketball team played a national tournament game there. And he slaps it into right field. That is a fair ball. And here comes Jolly rounding first. She's thinking 2. She's thinking 3. She's in there with a triple. A 3-bagger for Casey Jolly. And here is Elizabeth Palumbo, 442 hitter, no homers, 15 RBIs. Had a great visit with Elizabeth Palumbo. Where's the number 23? Like a great number 23, Don Mattingly. Boy, he had the sweetest swing when he was with the New York Yankees. That's Andy Reardon coaching at first, Pat Reardon at third. That is a ball, 1-0 to count. The lights are on there. If we were at Wrigley Field back in the 80s, we would have had to dodge and duck clouds because they didn't have lights until August of 1988. 2-0 to count there with Joe Kreider on deck. 2-0 to count on Elizabeth Palumbo. You wonder if she has the green light. 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 pitch. Slaps it over the glove there. Her only play is the first, but she gets the job done. Coming in to score is Casey Jolly to make it 1-0 there. So unassisted the first, and RBI. And for Palumbo, that's 16 on the year. Looks like Kennedy Johnson's okay. What happened was Palumbo hit a liner and I think Kennedy Johnson was trying to make a catch, but I think it actually hit her hand. They had to test, and then of course, made her through some warm-up tosses to make sure she's okay. Here's Joe Kreider, 436 hitter, 2 homers, 12 RBIs. Palumbo has 16 RBIs on the year, still leads the team in RBIs. Kreider is from Eagle, Idaho. And the pitch to her. And there's a strike call 0-1 now. Madison Roberts is on deck. The 0-1 now. And a high pop-up there. Let's see who calls for it. The pitcher will take care of that for the third out. So 1 run on 1 hit. No errors, no one left on. We go to the second inning. Central Methodist 1. And Williams Baptist, nothing on the Hart Conference Network. Let's see who comes to bat. That's Wolf. That's one. One run, 1 hit, no errors for Central Methodist. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors for Williams Baptist. That's Kaylee Wolf with the bat. Wolf, a 250 hitter, no homers, 8 RBIs. From Harrison, Arkansas. Jordan Ball on the mound. And the pitch. Fouls it off to the screen. 0-1 the count. 0-1 now on Kaylee Wolf. The 0-1 pitch. There's a strike on the inside corner. 0-2 the count. On deck is Hannah Stallings. 0-2 pitch. Fouls it to the screen. Still 0-2. Oh and 2 the count. 0-2 pitch. Hits the chopper to Jordan Ball. Goes to Elizabeth Palumbo for out number 1. So 1 out now for Hannah Stallings. 1 for 9. No homers, no RBIs.
Do they have a microphone? She's getting one. Oh, right here. Maya, you good? Yes. Okay. Thank you.
First pitch to her. A swing and a miss. Strike 1 there. 0-1 now on Hannah Stallings. Hannah Stallings, the batter. Here's the 0-1. There's a strike on the inside corner, and it's 0-2 to Hannah Stallings, the designated player. 2 hits, all in the first inning. Both came with 2 outs. 0-2 the count. That's a high fly ball. Let's see who calls for it. I think Garland has the room, and there is out number 2. So 2 quick outs now for Maddie Altenthal. Team's leading hitter, 488.
Number 32, Maddie Altenthal.
No homer, 6 RBIs. From Marva Hill, Missouri. First pitch. That's a ball, 1-0 to count. Layla Bias is on deck. The 0-1. Tries the bunt. That's a foul ball. That's strike 1. 1-1 to count. Oh, 1-1. 2 outs. Top of the second inning. 1-0 lead for Central Methodist. The 1-1. Tries the bunt. That is strike 2. No question about it. On the outside corner. 0-2. 1-2 to count. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. A 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one let on. Bottom of the second inning. 1-0 lead for Central Methodist. One run, 1 hit, 1 error for Central Methodist. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors for Williams Baptist. Here's Madison Roberts, a 341 hitter, no homers, 11 RBIs from Elkhart, Illinois, around the Chicago area. Left-handed hitter up there. Remember the first time I learned about Elkhart was watching a kid's show a long time ago, the Bozo Show with Bozo the Clown. They even had the grand prize game. If your name was drawn, you went to a drum and draw your at-home partner. And I remember the town from Bozo the Clown. 1-0 the count on Madison Roberts. The 1-0. That is a ball 2. 2-0 the count. Madison White on deck and Lauren Hill. 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 pitch. Lines a shot over the shortstop and into left field. So a leadoff single there. Second hit of the game for Central Methodist. Here is Madison White, a 304 hitter. A homer, 11 RBI. 11 RBIs on the year. Remember, hit the game-winning home run in the NAIA Softball World Series down in Columbus, Georgia against Baker. And, of course, ran the bases unassisted. As Vince Scully would say it on television. That is a strike call, 0-1 now. Of course, her mom is Taryn. Of course, I went to Central Methodist with her. Her aunt is Tristy. 0-1 to count. Her grandmother, Joyce, used to work in the financial aid office. 0-1 now. That's a ball, 1-1 to count. She has a twin sister named Mackenzie who is at Mizzou. And I'm sure she is listening in on the broadcast. I want to say hi to those people. Along with the cast of thousands at Rockbridge High School. Strike 1-2 the count there. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Madison White. Lauren Hill on deck. 1-2 pitch. Hits the ground ball right through the 5-6 hole and a base hit. 3 hits now for Central Methodist. Here is Lauren Hill up the batter. 403 hitter, 1 homer, 405 hitter, 1 homer, 11 RBIs from California, Missouri. Of course, her dad, Brian, went to Central Methodist in the 80s. Hopefully I'll see hi to Brian in between games of our doubleheader, but if not, I want to say hi to him if you're listening in from California. The first pitch. There's a strike call, 0-1 now, with Daly Garland on deck. 0-1 now on Lauren Hill. Pitcher going to the wristband there. The 0-1. Ball 1 there. 1 ball, 1 strike on Lauren Hill. Roberts at second with the single. White's at first with the single. 1-0 lead for Central Methodist. Came on the RBI ground out by Elizabeth Palumbo. The 1-1. That is a ball inside. 2-1 the count. Second game to follow right around the 3 o'clock hour. 2-1 now on Lauren Hill. Boy, she's really improved a lot in these 3 years at Central. Hits the fly ball to left field. That's hit well. Back goes to the center field as it's off the wall. Roberts will score. White will be held at third. And it's a double. Makes it 2-0 Central Methodist. RBI number 12 for Lauren Hill. And here's Daly Garland. 128 hitter, no homers, 3 RBIs from Woodridge around the Chicago area. And I want to say hi to a great Chicago Blackhawks announcer named Eddie Olczyk. Of course, he also does the NHL games on TNT with Kenny Albert on Wednesday nights. The first pitch. And I believe he'll be in St. Louis that night when the St. Louis Blues take on the Los Angeles Kings at 6:30 p.m. on TNT. A little over a month away for the Stanley Cup playoffs. The 0-1. That's a ball 1-1 now. I think it may be starting on the 23rd, I do believe. We know the regular season ends in 1 month and 10 days. 1 ball, 1 strike on Daly Garland. The 1-1. Strike 2, 1-2 with Carly Robbins on deck. Central Methodist off to the best start. 13-2. Wayne's Baptist 11-5. 1-2 pitch. Nice stop there. 2-2. 2-2 now on Daly Garland. At third is Madison White. Lauren Hills at second. 2-2 pitch. It's a little pop up there. Let's see who calls for it. Third baseman makes the catch for out number 1. Here's Carly Robbins, a .391 hitter. No homers, 3 RBIs from San Diego. Two of my favorite athletes came from San Diego. Of course, the great Tony Gwynn, who always had the sweetest swing in baseball. The other one, the great Dave Winfield, who began his career with the San Diego Padres before going to the New York Yankees back in 1981. Strike on the outside corner, 0-1 there. That's where Ozzie Smith began his career at, was the San Diego Padres before training to the St. Louis Cardinals back in 1982. 0-1 the count. The 0-1. Ball inside, 1-1 now on Carly Robbins. And, of course, another great San Diego Padre great, Steve Garvey, holds the record for the most consecutive games played in the National League. Over 1,800 of them. The 1-1. 2-1 the count. Of course, he signed with the Padres as a free agent back in 1983. And then a year later, Padres went to the World Series. Lost in 5 to the Detroit Tigers. Of course, Detroit at the time, they were 35-5. 2-1 pitch. 3-1 the count. 3-1 on Carly Robbins. Kalina Oots is on deck. 2-0 lead for Central Methodist. Hills at second. White's at third. 3-1. 3-1 pitch. And it's ball 4 now. Here's Kalina Oots. She grounded out to third her first time up. Here's Kalina Oots. Now it looks like a little time call there. Looks like the catcher's going to talk to the coach, Jessica Nutt. Johnny Bench has never done that. Usually never have known to talk to Sparky Anderson. Because a lot of time when the pitcher's in trouble, Johnny Bench went out there and talked to them. First pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-1 now. Would it be sweet? Her first home run of the year came with a grand slam. 0-1 to count. Casey Jolly's on deck. The 0-1. There's a strike. 0-2 the count there on Kalina Oots. Oots. No balls and 2 strikes. 0-2 the count. Slaps it foul. And it's 0-2 now. To the count on Kalina Oots. The 0-2 pitch. Slaps it to third. They'll go home for the out, and that's all they can get. So fielder's choice. 5-2 on your scorecard. And everyone else moves a base. Here's Casey Jolly. She tripled her first time out down the right field line. I want to say hi to her mom, Teresa, who I think is listening in on the broadcast. Looking forward to meeting Teresa. Teresa, I want to tell you hi. 1-0 to count there. Elizabeth Palumbo's on deck. The count is 1-0, and the 1-0 pitch to Casey Jolly, a swing and a miss. She was fooled on the curveball, ladies and gentlemen. 1-1 now. Palumbo's on deck. 2-0 lead for Central Methodist. Quentin Norris in the catbird seat. Time called. Probably wants to just think it over and all that. 1-1 the count. The 1-1 misses up high. 2-1 on Casey Jolly. 2-1 on Casey Jolly. Bases loaded full of Eagles. 2-1 pitch, a swing and a miss. 2-2 now. Twos across the board. As Snoop Dogg used to like to say it on the Joker's Wild. 2-2 the count, 2-2 pitch. 3-2 now. You wonder if the pitcher's going to do like what Raleigh Fingers did. Try the old trick play, and then they're striking out Johnny Bench in Game 4 of the 1972 World Series. 3-2 pitch. That's ball 4 now, and coming in to score is Lauren Hill to make it 3-0. So an RBI for Jolly gives her a total of 13. Here's Elizabeth Palumbo. She grounded out the first and went off the first baseman's glove, but scored Casey Jolly. There's a strike call, 0-1 now. Palumbo has 16 RBIs from Sterling, Illinois, around the Chicago area. Had a great visit with her right before the pregame show. The 0-1 now. Fouls it to the screen. And it's a good thing there was a net there, because otherwise I may try to do what Harry Carey used to do when he was with the Chicago Cubs. Would try to catch it in my net. And don't worry, Harry was known to carry a net on WGN television. Hits the ground ball to the pitcher. So 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors. 3 left on. We head to the third. Central Methodist 3. Williams Baptist nothing on the Hart Conference Network. Three runs, 4 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors for Williams Baptist. As Lila Bias at the bat. 289 hitter, no homers, 2 RBIs. Left-handed hitter from Cleveland, Mississippi. First pitch. That's a ball, 1-0 to count. Natalia Watkins is on deck. One of the assistant coaches has to get to the first base box. The 1-0. Slaps it foul. Just to increase the tension. 1-1 to count. Overcast day. Cloudy. We had to dodge and duck some rain this morning. Lines a shot. Oots is there. Boy, she played that one perfectly for out number 1. Ball has retired 5 in a row. Natalia Watkins struck out her first time. Both of the hits for Williams Baptist came with 2 outs. After the first 2 outs were recorded on strikes, then back-to-back singles by Shoebottom and Johnson. And now they're checking to see if that ball is scuffed. They're checking.
Have you had to use the walkie-talkie? Huh? Have you had to use the walkie-talkie? No. No? Okay. I want to.
Watkins.
I want to say hi.
There in the first pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. 0-1 now on Natalia Watkins. The 0-1. Fouls it to the screen there. 0-2 there. Usually right in front of the area where the baseball commissioner would sit. He usually sits behind the first base, the home team's dugout. I can tell you that. I remember going to a Royals game back in 1991 They played the Angels, and the Commissioner Faye Vincent was there. Ground ball to short, throw to first, and there's 2 quick outs. 2 outs now for Megan Petty. She struck out her first time up.
Now batting center fielder, number 14, Megan Petty.
There's Madison Zaccaro getting the softball there. Maybe taking it to get it cleaned. And that is a strike call, 0-1 now. 0-1 now on Megan Petty. Infield in at the corners, the 0-1. That's outside, and 1-1 now. One and one now on Megan Petty. Outside, 2-1. Madison Shoebottom is on deck. 2-1 now on Megan Petty. 2-1 pitch. 2-2 the count. Nice job of framing it by Lauren Hill. As Tony Kubek used to say down on television with Kurt Gowdy. 2-2 the count. 2s across the board. Playing her toward left. 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 call. Another 1-2-3 inning goes Williams Baptist. We head to the bottom of the third. Central Methodist 3, Williams Baptist nothing. How's it going there?
It's going good.
Do you remember what your name is?
Maya.
Oh, yeah, from...
Women's basketball.
I know about what town?
Oh, Texarkana, Texas.
Now, where is that close to?
Dallas, Texas.
Oh, really? Yeah.
About an hour and a half, 2 hours.
But you just go down like I-35 and all that?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. Yes, I believe that's where the University of Texas A&M Texarkana is at.
Yep.
Is that right?
That school is expanding.
Is that right? First time I learned that one, I remember when Central Methodist Baseball played them in an opening round of a national tournament back in 2016. Mm-hmm. 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors for Central Methodist, no runs, 2 hits, and no errors for Williams Baptist.
Third baseman, number 6, Jolie Kreider.
Here's Jolie Kreider. She popped to the pitcher her first time up. Now you're close to like Arlington and all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Arlington is right down the street.
Yep. I can tell you one of my claims to fame has to do with Arlington. First pitch to Jolie Kreider. Ball way outside. Or as Bob Euchre would say in the movie Major League, just a bit outside. She tried the corner and missed. The 1-0 pitch. Oh, on the outside, 2-0 to count. On Joe Kreider from Eagle, Idaho. Would it be something we have a Major League Baseball game be played in that area? Especially around Memorial Day weekend during the NAIA Baseball World Series in Lewiston, Idaho. 2-1 to count. 2-1 pitch. Fouls it off. And I think one of the most popular teams I think could play there most likely would be the Seattle Mariners. It could be the closest Major League Baseball team to Idaho. Then the second one probably be the Colorado Rockies. 2-2 pitch. Fouls it off. Two and two the count on Joe Kreider. 2-2 to count. Bottom of the third inning, 3-0 Central Methodist. 1 in the first and 2 in the second. The 2-2 pitch. I think she go. Let's see what Jim Quick says. Jim Quick says strike 3. So 1 out now. Here's Madison Roberts. She singled her first time up.
Now batting shortstop, number 11, Madison Roberts.
Roberts up the bat. First pitch. That is a ball, 1-0 to count there. 1-0 to count on Madison Roberts. The 1-0. Little liner, and that's caught by the second baseman. 2 outs now. Here's Madison White. She singled her first time up.
Now batting second baseman, number 16, Madison White.
2 outs now. Here's Madison White, the first pitch. That is a ball. 1-0 to count on Madison White. Pitcher getting in from the wristband there. The 1-0. Ball 2. 2-0 on Madison White. Bottom of the third inning, 3-0 Central Methodist. 2-0 pitch. That's a strike, even though the catcher dropped it, but it's 2-1 now. Two and 1 to count. Two balls and 1 strike on Madison White. 2-1 pitch. Strike 3. Strike 2. Umpire thought it was strike 3, but that's trying to guessed it wrong, and it's 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 pitch. It's a fly ball to right field. Right fielder has some room, and he couldn't hang on to it. White is rounding second. She is thinking 3. She may be thinking home. How about an inside the park home run to make it 4-0? As Mount Loudon would say on This Week in Baseball, how about that? A 4-bagger. And it's for Madison White, her second of the year, RBI number 12.
Now batting catcher, number 15, Lauren Hill.
There's Lauren Hill, double and drove in a run her first time up. A swing and a miss, 0-1 the count. 4-0 now on 5 hits for Central Methodist. And no errors. 0-1 now. A ground ball. There's a base hit for Lauren Hill. 6 hits already for Central Methodist. So now here's Daly Garland. She popped the third her first time up.
Daly Garland.
Some of the students sitting out in the center field area. First pitch. That is a ball inside. Maybe the students could do like Hilda Chester used to when she attended the games at Ebbets Hill. She used to sit out in the center field area, and she would send notes to Carl Ferrillo. And Carl Ferrillo would send it into Leo DeRocher. 1-1 to count. 1-1 now on Daly Garland. 4-0 on the inside the park home run by Madison White, her second of the year. The 1-1. There's a strike on the outside corner, 1-2 now. Carly Robbins is on deck. Robbins is on deck. 1-2 pitch. Fouls it all to the screen, heading toward the screen stand there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One and two the count. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left. Top of the 4th. Central Methodist 4 and Williams Baptist nothing.
Okay, you guys are doing great. Keep it going. Thank you, Rachel.
Next thing you know. So close to Arlington. Have you ever been to the old Arlington Stadium? Or, of course, it's right across from of course, there's that, it's like where the current stadium is for the Texas Rangers that play baseball. Have you ever been to the current one? So it used to be Arlington Stadium, and
I've only been through Arlington. I haven't been there to see any stadiums or anything like that.
yeah, I remember that because that's where George Brett played his last game for the Royals.
Yeah. Somebody that's from Texas, I don't even be all over the state for real.
4 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors for Williams Baptist as Madison Shoebottom single the first time around from a town of Bowel Knob, Arkansas. And I think that's the same area where one of my friends' son named Dylan Stockman lives. Of course, his dad and mom and dad were great friends. I went to high school with them back in Slater. First pitch, swing and a miss. And I've been told today is Dylan Stockman's birthday. 0-1 to count. 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors. No runs, 2 hits, and an error. And now let's see what the umpiring crew wants to say. They're trying to figure out the ball strike count or something. Hard to say what's going on there. Looks like some of the baseball players are out there. And according to my scorebook, it's 0-1. And here's the pitch. A swing and a miss. 0-2. It's 0-2 now. According to Lester Shylock. 0-2. 0-2 pitch. Fouls it off there. Heading toward the Central Methodist locker room. Top of the 4th inning. 4-0 Central Methodist. 1 in the first, 2 in the second, and a third. Run in the third on the inside park home run by Madison White. 0-2. Fouls it off then, just to increase the tension. 0-2 the count. What Norris singing in the catbird seat. 0-2 the count. Here's the 0-2. Fouls it off then. When you think of Jordan Ball, I tell you, reminds you of 2 good pitchers. Tom Seaver and baseball's all-time strikeout king, Nolan Ryan. Oh and 2 the count. Swing and a miss on that's the old Tom Seaver curveball. And there's out number 1. And for Jordan Ball, that's 8 in a row now.
First baseman number 26, Kennedy Johnson.
Kennedy Johnson single. That came in the first inning. That was the last base runner we've had for Williams Baptist. First pitch. A swing and a miss. 0-1 now. No balls and 1 strike. The 0-1 now. Way outside. 1-1 now. Or as Bob Euchre would say, just a bit outside. 1-1 to count. 1-1 pitch. Woo, way outside there. 2-1 now on Kennedy Johnson. Top of the fourth inning. 4-0 Central Methodist. 2-0 pitch. That's outside. 3-0. 3-0 the count. Here we are on this Friday, the March the 8th. Boy, it feels like I'm at Wrigley Field. 3-1 pitch. Fouls it off there. Or most notably, Comiskey Park. But at least I'm not like what Vin Scully and Joe Garagiola had on back in 1984, where they came to Comiskey Park one time dressing like Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson. 3-2 pitch. Strike three call on the outside corner. What a job of framing it by Lauren Hill. And there's 2 outs now. Madison Knight struck out. Remember, Williams Baptist had first and second and 2 outs in the first. Struck him out to end the rally. That's a bit high. 1-0 now. 3, 4, 7 strikeouts for Jordan Ball. 1-0 to count. The 1-0. That's outside. 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes on Madison Knight. Kaylee Wolf is on deck. 2-0 pitch. There's a strike on the outside corner of 2-1 now. 2 balls and a strike from here on Madison Knight. 2-1 pitch. Strike 2 on the outside corner there. Seven strikeouts. It'll be the second time all 3 of the strikeouts came, 3 of the outs came on strikeout. Here's a ground ball. Palumbo for the third out. Another 1-2-3 inning. We are halfway home. Central Methodist 4. Williams Baptist nothing on the Hart Conference Network. Or, hey, Mike, I tell you the most famous person that used to work for the Rangers. George W. Bush.
Really?
Yeah, he was the general manager. The only reason I remember that because when the Royals used to play him there, they always show a picture of George W. Bush. And he always, and that's one of the reasons why his dad always threw out the ceremonial pitch at the home opener was because of George W. Bush. Oh yeah, I've known some stuff.
You learn something new every day.
Mm-hmm. I've known that for a long time. I've probably known that since I was probably about 12 years old.
That's what's up. Know your history.
Oh yeah.
I got it. So it's between innings. Yeah, we're in not the top and the bottom, but the inning. Yes.
4 runs, 4 hits, and no errors for Central Methodist. No runs, 2 hits, and error for Williams Baptist. It's Carly Robbins up there. She drew a walk her first time up. Carly Robbins up to bat. Of course, the next home game after this doubleheader, of course, Sunday, March the 10th, Yankee on St. Mary's. That's also my birthday. 12:45 pregame show, 1 o'clock first pitch. A strike call. Of course, in between games of doubleheader, we'll have a Yogi Bear cartoon. This time, Yogi Bear meets Little Red Riding Hood. The 0-1 now. It's a little liner in the right center field. That's up against the wall. Carly Robbins is rounding first. She'll stop at second with a leadoff double. Here's Kalina Oots, 0 for 2. Five hits now for Central Methodist. Here's Kalina Oots. First pitch. Lays down a bunt, but foul. Strike one. I like the idea of putting the bunt game down. Or as just like Whitey Herzog used to do that a lot when he was the manager of the Cardinals. Played a lot of small ball there, and they were the masters of the bunt. And I believe that's what the National League was known for several years. I remember watching a lot of National League games on television. 0-1 now. Slaps it. That's a foul ball. 0-2 now. They were the masters of the squeeze play, the moving runners along, stolen bases. They were the masters of it. 0-2 now on Kalina Oots. Now wants a new baseball. Oh and 2 now. Now you see the Caldwell goes to the wristband. He loops a liner. Oh, what a catch! Let's see how they're going to score that one there.
Now batting left fielder, number 1, Casey Jolly.
There's Casey Jolly. 1 for 1, triple and RBI. I believe that should be a base hit. That's 8 hits already for Central Methodist. First pitch. I believe she made a good effort. Looked like she caught it, but Jim Quick says she trapped it. Or as Kirk Gowdy would say on NBC television, caught it on the first bounce. Oh, that will get away. That's a wild pitch there. So everyone moves a base. 2-0 the count on Casey Jolly. So Oots should be credited with a single. Robbins is at third. She started off with a double. 2-0 the count. 2-0 pitch. 3-0 the count. Elizabeth Palumbo is on deck. Three-0 pitch. Ball 4 now. So Elizabeth Palumbo up there 0 for 2 with 2 ground outs. To the first baseman, got an RBI. That scored Casey Jolly. Then she grounded out to the pitcher. Into the second inning. Bases loaded, full of Eagles. 4-0 lead there. That is a ball, 1-0 now. Palumbo already has 16 RBIs on the year. 1-0 the count. Joe Kreider's on deck. The 1-0. Oh, there's a strike on the inside corner of 1-1. Robbins at third. Oots at second. Jolly's at first. 8 hits for Central Methodist. The 1-1. Looping liner. That be caught by the right fielder. Tagging up is Robbins. Oots will head for third. That's a sac fly. RBI, her second of the day, gives her a total of 17.
Number 6, Joey Kreider.
Here's Joe Kreider, 0 for 1, 0 for 2 on the day. Popped to the pitcher in the first, struck out in the third. And there you see the catcher directing traffic, just like Johnny Bench used to do that a lot for the Cincinnati Reds. You wonder Pat Reardon may put on the double steal trick. 1-0 to count. Just in case you may know, the last player ever stole home in the World Series, Tim McCarver did that in Game 7 of the 1964 World Series against the New York Yankees. And the starting pitcher on the Yankees that day, Whitey Ford. I believe it's 2-0 to count. Let's see what the umpire says. Let's see what Nestor Shylock says. Nestor Shylock. No. 2-0 to count. Madison Roberts on deck. 2-0 pitch. Hits the ground ball. There's a base hit. Oots will score easily. And in the third is Jolly. And it's 6-0 Central Methodist. For Kreider, that's 13 on the year. So 6-0 lead for Central Methodist. Nine hits already for Central Methodist. So it looks like a courtesy runner there. So now it looks like a little conference action there. Now the coaches will talk it over there. Wants to talk it over. We may see a courtesy runner there. While Madison Sakaro has some softballs ready to give out to the umpire. I'm with you. She probably would.
Shortstop, number 11, Madison Roberts.
What should I?
So now it looks like a courtesy runner's at first. So 6-0 Central Methodist. There's still one out. Roberts 1 for 2 with a single. Then that came into the second inning, then popped to second. Hit a liner to the second baseman. First pitch to her. There's a strike call on the inside corner. 0-1 in the count. One out now. That came on Elizabeth Palumbo sac fly. Madison White on deck. The 1-1 now. That's outside. 1-1 now. Dun, 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 dun. 1-1 now. On Madison Roberts. There's strike 2. 1-2 to count. 1-2 now on Madison Roberts. Madison White is on deck. 1-2 pitch. That's outside. 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Madison Roberts. Looks like we have a courtesy runner at first base. I cannot tell who that is. 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 call. So 2 outs now. Here's Madison White. 2 for 2. Homer and an RBI at home run. And the third was the inside the park home run. At third base is Casey Jolly. Lines it on the first pitch to the shortstop. So Central Methodist gets 2 big runs on just 3 hits. No errors. 2 left. We head to the 5th inning. Central Methodist 6 and Williams Baptist nothing.
Bales takes this shot, whips it in, and it's in the back of the net.
Can you see that camera again?
Ever heard of a guy named Kurt? I bet you ever heard of a guy named Bob Euchre? He is a Yank. Or is Kirk County?
Now batting third baseman, number 31, Haley Will.
6 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. No runs, 2 hits, and an error. First pitch is a strike. Kaylee Wolf grounded out to Jordan Ball her first time.
12-hour drive. Yeah. We're gonna take turns though, so we got some. Yeah.
0-1 to count. Here's a high fly ball. There is a base hit there. First hit of the game since the first inning. Let me give you one advice just to watch out for. Watch out for Yogi Bear. You ever heard of him?
Yes. Isn't it like a little show?
Yeah, there's a cartoon show. That's a funny cartoon. Hannah Stallings, after she flew out to Daly Garland her first time. First pitch to her, fouls it off, strike one. Oh and 1 now on Hannah Stallings. Gets up to the batter's box. 3 hits already for Williams Baptist. That's inside. One and 1 to count. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 and 1 to count. Two one pitch. Fouls it all. 2 and 2. Two balls and 2 strikes. 2 and 2 to count. Oh, that hit her. Oh, my. So now first and second, nobody out. Now, where is it you're going? Is that back home?
For spring break?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm going to Alabama for spring break.
Which area of Alabama?
Gulf Shores.
Buell. That's where softball went.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Once a new softball getting it cleaned there. Looks like a courtesy runner there for Williams Baptist. That's Victoria Corker from Greenbrier, Arkansas is the courtesy runner for Hannah Stallings. So here is Maddie Altenthal. Struck out her first time up. And there's a strike on the outside corner. 0-1 now. Layla Bias is on deck. 0-1 to count. The 0-1 tries to bunt at strike 2, and now it gets away. So now it's second and third. And it's 0-2. I believe that will be a pass ball there on Lauren Hill. So 0-2 the count. Second and third. First time we have seen runners at third base. The other time we saw a runner at second was in the first inning with 2 outs. Strike 3 called. Or as Phil Rizzuto would say on NBC, on the Yankee Television Network, she wasn't watching. Leah Ballas flew out to Kalina Oots, playing shallow. 6-0 now. First pitch. That is a ball. 1-0 to count. The 1-0 pitch. That kind of gets away. Here comes Kaylee Wolf to score to make it 6-1 now. That's a wild pitch. No RBI recorded. And Corker is at third. So that little conference action there. So you haven't seen a Yogi Bear cartoon?
I have.
You know what I'm talking about, where he lives at Jellystone? That's what it is. He lives at Jellystone with Boo Boo. And he likes to do
That's his little friend, is it not?
Yeah, that's his buddy.
Yeah.
He always, and you know what he likes to do? He likes to steal picnic baskets.
Yeah, no, I do know that, though.
Oh, yeah. I have watched the cartoon so many times. I could tell you.
Every show,
Oh yeah. Lays down a bunt, foul ball. Or if you're in a house, just don't go roller skating on the house. Or otherwise you'll be falling in the bathtub.
in the bathroom.
And I have seen that on a cartoon show. 1 and 2 now. Runner at third and a foul ball. I can tell you what cartoon it was. Scooby-Doo.
Of course. Scooby-Doo got some. Oh, I actually need to watch Scooby-Doo. I love that cartoon.
Oh, yeah. It's on Boomerang.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's on Boomerang. I would watch that show. Used to watch that show when I was a kid. 1 and 2, yeah. 1-2 pitch. Hits a ground ball. They throw over the third. Now the runner heads for home, and that is a save. So 5-3, an RBI. Corker scores to make it 6-2 now. An RBI for Bias.
Now batting second baseman number 30, Natalia Watkins.
So Natalia Watkins 0 for 2. Bias has 3 RBIs on the year. So 6-2 now, even though the scoreboard says 6-1, it should be 6-2 in the first pitch. And he lines up base hit there. So a 2-out hit there. So now here's Madison Petty 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Trying to keep it where it is. First pitch. Fouls it to the screen. If it was Wrigley Field, Harry Carey would try to catch it in a net. Oh, 1 in the count. 2 hits already. 2 runs there. 1-1 now. 8 strikeouts for Fayette's own Jordan Ball. 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 and 2 the count.
Oh my gosh, you were doing awesome.
1 and 2 now on Madison Petty. 1-2. Fly ball. Let's see. It's Jolly is there. So 2 runs on 2 hits. No errors. And they leave 1. We head to the 5th inning. Central Methodist 6. Waynes Baptist 2. Or have you ever seen that one where Shaggy's on the roller skates and they were going down the hallway to look for clues, and he trips and falls, and you can tell he's going to the bathtub. Like, you hear this big noise. Like, he goes to the room, you hear a big noise, and 2 seconds later, he's in the bathtub.
Always like that.
That's always on the beginning of the episode. Or the one they had the other night where Scooby tries to chase down a robot, and he falls into a big blob of cotton candy. Or the other one they had where Scooby gets hypnotized by a ghost clown.
Scooby and Shabby are always doing something.
Oh yeah, they had the ghost clown at a circus.
Your attention, please. Now pitching number 11, Maddie Wallace.
So Maddie Wallace, 1-0, 1.56 ERA, 3 walks and 11 strikeouts from Pangburn, Arkansas.
Leading out for the Eagles, catcher number 15, Lauren Hill.
There's Lauren Hill, 2 for 2. Single, double, RBI. 6 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. 2 runs, 4 hits, and an error for Wayans Baptist. Lauren Hill out there. Let's see if we can have a 3-hit game. And a ball there. Daly Garland on deck. 6-2 Central Methodist. The 1-0. 2-0 to count. 2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0. There's a strike. 2-1 now. Bottom of the 5th inning. 6-2 Central Methodist. A cool, overcast Friday afternoon. Boy, it feels like I'm doing the Cubs game on WGN television. 2-1. 3-1 the count. 40,206 on hand. Millions are watching on television across the world. 3-1 pitch. Way outside. Ball 4. Here's Daly Garland, 0 for 2. Popped the third. Her first time up. Struck out. That was in the second. Struck out in the third.
Now batting right fielder, number 9, Daly Garland.
First pitch. That's a ball, 1-0 to count.
Mm-hmm.
1-0 to count on Daly Garland.
They tried to give me the pitch, but I did not like it.
The 1-0 pitch. Hits the ground ball to the pitcher. They'll go to second for 1. The first. Double play. Your pitcher's best friend, as Vin Scully used to say on television. A 1-4-3.
No, it's
Now batting designated player, number 8, Carly Robbins.
Carly Robbins, 1 for 1. Walked in the second. Doubled in the fourth. First pitch to her. That is a ball. 1-0 to count. The 1-0. 2 balls and no strike. 9 hits for Central Methodist, 6 runs. 2 runs, 4 hits, and an error for Wayne's Baptist. Two and 0 to count. 2-0 pitch. 2-1 now from San Diego. Also a known fact, Randy Jones was the starting pitcher for the National League back in 1976 in the 76 All-Star Game in Philadelphia. 2-1 to count. 3-1 now. 3-1 to count on Carly Robbins. She is from San Diego. 3-1 now on Carly Robbins. 3-1. Swing and a miss. 3-2 now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 3-2 now on Carly Robbins. Kalina Oots on deck. 3-2. Looping liner. There's a base hit. That's going to roll to the wall. Robbins is rounding first. She is thinking 2. And that's the 10th hit of the game for Central Methodist.
Now batting center fielder, number 14, Kalina Oots.
So 10 hits now for Central Methodist. Here's Kalina Oots. 1 for 3 with a single. Want to make a change there. We may see a courtesy runner. Let's see who that is. I cannot tell. I think that's Jordan Ball running. I think that's Jordan Ball. I do believe. So Oots. You wonder if she made Jordan Ball could put on a running expedition like Luis Tion did in Game 1 of the 1975 World Series. The first pitch to Oots. Lays down the bunt. Or basically, Oots is trying to be like Dwight Evans. Lays down the bunt. And then puts Luis Tion at second. And then Don Zimmer was the third base coach. Don Zimmer told Luis, that's third base. 0-1 the count. 0-1 now. 1-1 the count. And then when Luis Tion scored that run, I think Rico Petroselli told him, you missed home plate. And he had to go back and touch home plate. 1-1 the count. The 1-1. And then he lays down a bunt. Third baseman has it. The throw. They got him. Bang, bang play. And there's no runs on one hit. No errors and one left. We head to the top of the sixth. Central Methodist 6. Williams Baptist 2 on the Hart Conference Network. Four, 6. Six runs, 10 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. 2 runs, 4 hits, and an error for Williams Baptist.
Leading out shortstop, number 18, Madison Shoebottom.
Here's Madison Shoebottom, 1 for 2 with a single. Game's 1 of 2. We probably will start game 2 in about 30 minutes or so. Shoebottom, first pitch. Hits a high fly ball to right field. Garland giving chase and then went into the Central Methodist bullpen area. That is the bullpen. Oh and 1 the count. The 0-1 hits a fly ball to right field. Garland gives chase, but it's a foul ball. 0-2 the count on Madison Shoebottom. Oh, 2 pitch. Fouls it off there. Just barely got a piece of it. Or as Joe Garagiola would say on NBC television, that is called protecting the plate. Oh and 2. Outside, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. 6-2 is our score on 10 hits. The 1-2. 2-2 to count. 4, 6, 9, 10. Two pitch. Strike 3 call, so 1 out now. Here's Kennedy Johnson. 1 for 2 with a single. No, actually, it's not Kennedy Johnson. That's Krista Jones. So Krista Jones is the pinch hitter there. She is from Livingston, Texas. 3 for 9, no homers, 2 RBIs. Tries the old run and bunt play, just like the great Maury Wills used to do. That was when Maury Wills was playing for the Dodgers. He was the master running up and bunt. 1-1 the count. I think Haley Carter may start game 2. About a 20-minute break or so. The 1-1. There's the run and bunt play, and there's strike 2. One and 2 the count to Krista Jones. Cox Softball Complex, shivering with its concrete foundations. 2-2 the count. Looks like Madison Knight is on deck. 2-2 the count. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 call. I believe that's 10 for Jordan Ball.
Now batting pitcher, number 6, Madison Knight.
Here's Madison Knight, 0 for 2. In the first pitch. There's a strike, 0-1 now. Keely Wolf is on deck. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Oh and 2 now. Fouls it off then. One-two pitch. Fouls it off then. Still 1-2. No balls, 1-2 the count. 1-2 pitch. Chops it. That's a foul ball. I believe that might hit her on the foot. On that right foot. Maybe if they do like the Yankees training, they would spray her foot with spray, with a little foot spray on it. Like they did the Bucky Dent in 1978. One-two pitch. Swing and a miss. 11 strikeouts. No runs, no hits, no errors. No one lets on. Bottom of the 6th. 6-2 Central Methodist. You're lucky you're not out in the center field area.
Oh, no.
I have seen a cameraman almost get hit with a home run ball.
Ooh,
And it was at a World Series game on national television.
really?
Oh, yeah. Not only he didn't get hit, but he hit the Jose Canseco hit one in the center field camera and dented the camera.
Oh, wow.
And the next day, they showed the picture of the camera got dented.
I bet it did.
Oh, yeah. And he autographed it.
Oh, wow. Can you imagine?
And the reason I remember that because Ben Scully talked about it on national television. And I still remember that one I still remember watching that on television. Huh? It was the Dodgers and the A's. Six runs, 10 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. 2 runs, 4 hits, and an error for Williams Baptist. Here's Casey Jolly. 1 for 1. A triple, RBI, 2 walks. First pitch. That's a ball, 1-0 now. Elizabeth Palumbo on deck. Where's number 23? Like the great number 23, Don Mattingly. The 1-0. Ooh, 2 balls and no strikes. A little chin music. Or as Dwight Gooden would call it, Uncle Charlie. A little past 2:30 on this Friday, March the 8th. 2-0 pitch. There's a strike. 2-1. 2-1 to count. 2-1 pitch. 3-1 now. They're playing Jolly toward left. Central Methodist is going to get 4 runs there. Game could be ending on the 8-run rule. 3-1 is a ground ball to the shortstop. Throws over to first. That's a base hit all the way. That's the 11th hit of the game for Central Methodist. Even though the scoreboard says 9, but my scorebook, it's 11.
Now batting first baseman, number 23, Elizabeth Palumbo.
Palumbo, 0 for 2. 2 RBIs on the day. Had a sac fly her last time up in the 4th. First pitch. Slices that one foul. That's heading toward the batting cages. Oh and 1 on Palumbo with Joe Kreider on deck. The 0-1. Outside, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike on Elizabeth Palumbo with 17 RBIs on the year. Leads the team in RBIs. 1-1 pitch. There's a strike call, 1-2. Of course, the other times I remember Sterling, Illinois, used to watch the 9 o'clock news on WGN. They had a weatherman named Tom Skilling. And the sports person was Dan Roan. 2-1 pitch. It's a high fly ball in the left field. Left fielder gives a chase. Makes the catch for out number 1. And back to first is Casey Jolly. Of course, I like to say hi to her mom, Teresa, listening in from Nampa, Idaho. Here's Joe Kreider, 1 for 3 with a single and an RBI. That came in the 4th inning. They increased the lead to 6-0. Then Williams Baptist got 2 more in the 5th. There's the curve in there, strike 1. I think there may be a 25-minute break. Game started at 1:03 p.m. The 0-1 hits a little chopper to the shortstop. Throws over the first. They got her. So 2 outs now, and Casey Jolly goes to second. Here's Madison Roberts, 1 for 3 with a single.
Now batting shortstop, number 11, Madison Roberts.
4, 6, 9, 10, 11. That's 11. At second base is Casey Jolly. Here's the pitch. There's a strike call. Oh, it's a ball. 1-0 the count. The 1-0 pitch. 2-0 to count. Two and 0 to count on Madison Roberts. 2-0 pitch. 3-0 now with Madison White on deck. What a day for Madison White, a home run. That was her second of the year, RBI number 12. Jolly's at second, 3-0 pitch. Takes it all the way. 3-1 now on Madison Roberts from Elkhart, Illinois. Three-one. Hits a little chopper to the first baseman. She'll take it herself. So no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We head to the 7th. 6th, Central Methodist 6, Williams Baptist 2.
Bales takes this shot, whips it in, and it's in the back of the net!
6 runs, 11 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. 2 runs, 4 hits, and error for Wade Spatzer. So 3 more outs to go for win number 14. But most importantly, of course, still 0-0 in the conference. They don't start the conference play until 2 weeks from tomorrow when they take on Clark at a 1 o'clock start time. Here's Kaylee Wolf, 1 for 2 with a single. First pitch. Looping liner. Oots is there. Makes the catch. Out number 1. 1 out now for Hannah Stallings. 0 for 1. Looks like a pinch hitter there.
Now batting designated player number 34, Hannah Stallings.
Stallings 0 for 1. She was hit by a pitch her last time up. That came in the 5th inning and scored the 2nd run. Listen to this crowd on hand. Over 40,000 on hand. Millions are watching on television. The first pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1 there. Across the world. 0-1 the count. On deck is Maddie Altenthal. 0-1. 1-1 the count. Cox Softball Complex shivering with its concrete foundations. 1-1 the count. The 1-1 pitch. Fouls it to the screen just to increase the tension.
We are doing good.
1-2 on Hannah Stallings. 1-2 pitch from Jordan Ball. Grounded foul. That's Maddie Altenthal on deck. Central Methodist looking for win number 14. What had a successful trip between Columbus, Georgia and Gulf Shores. Would you believe 9-1 on a road trip? They're ranked number 4 in the polls. 1-2 pitch. That is a foul ball. I believe it dinged the bat. Now, if we had the NBC stop action camera, you would see that ball come slowing in and it would hit the bat. The only person that never liked it was Frank Robinson. One and two the count. 2-2 the count. Wants a new ball there. Two and two the count there. Two balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 pitch. Fouls it off to the screen. Still 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 6-2 Central Methodist. They're checking to see if the... And then now Madison Sicario will bring those balls in there to get it cleaned. Probably would do like they do with the golfer. You put it in a little bucket of water and you squish it down with a brush. Swings and misses. Strike 3 call, so 2 out. Or like Tom the Cat would do to Jerry Mouse with a ball cleaner. Maddie Altenthal is their last hope. 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Here's the pitch. That is a ball, 1-0 the count. Of course, star of the game for Central Methodist. There's so many of them. Lauren Hill with 2 hits there. Casey Jolly been on base 4 times with 2 singles and 2 walks. 2 balls and no strikes. Jordan Ball has 12 strikeouts. 2-0 the count. 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike one. 2-1 the count. Two balls and a strike. 2-1 pitch. Fouls it off. Two and two the count. Down to the last strike. Cox Softball Complex shivering with its concrete foundations. 2-2 pitch. 3-2 now just to increase the tension. 3-2 the count there. 3-2 now. Matty Altenthal. Lyle Bias is on deck. 3-2. It's a little roller. Ball to Palumbo. Yes, sir. That's the winner. And Central Methodist wins the game by a score of 6-2. Give you the final line numbers there. 6 runs, 11 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. 2 runs, 4 hits, and an error for Williams Baptist. Central Methodist is 14-2. Williams Baptist is 11-6. We'll have game number 2 for you in about 25 minutes or so on CMUEagles.com and the Heart Conference Network. Quentin Norris saying so long for a while. That's 7,316 of them. See you in about 20 minutes. It is time for the Yogi Bear cartoon, where tonight Yogi Bear meets the Little Red Riding Hood. Gesundheit, whoever's sneezing. I bet you like that one I call that cartoon. You ever heard of that one? You ever heard of Yogi Bear? Oh man, it's a funny cartoon. He lives in Jellystone. That's okay.
Hello, how are you?
Good track career?
Yeah, I'm still going. I'm outdoor.
Yeah, I'm outdoor. Of course, the indoor is done.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed all those posts there.
Yeah, we just got back from nationals. So.
Sounds like they did a good job there.
Man, I'm so upset y'all gonna have a home meet while people on break.
Yeah, it's like we have another one at the end